Why did you write your biography?
Well, Karen's mom was living with us then after her husband died. She was 90 years old. And I had to go to Los Angeles, and Karen and her mom, Elsie, we all three went together, and we went to a doctor's home who's a good friend of mine on the second night we were there, and she got terribly ill, terrible pains in her stomach. And fortunately, he was there and went to the hospital and helped her. And instead of staying for 2 weeks, we stayed for 2 months. And I thought, if I don't do anything, any artistic thing for the next 2 months, I'm going to go crazy. I said, well, let me see. I've been asked to write a book lots of times. I said, yeah, maybe later. And now I said, well, why not think about all the ironies in my life and put them down and see if that doesn't, and I put them down, the strange ironies that led to something else, which led to something else. For example, I was miscast in Mother Courage with Anne Bancroft, whose boyfriend was Mel Brooks, and who cast me in The Producers and led to all the others. But I was wrong for the part that Jerome Robbins wanted me to play, the great choreographer. I was married to an English girl. It was a terrible marriage, horrible. But she was a very good actress, and she got me a reading for the part in my first play in New York, off-Broadway, Arnold Wesker's play called Roots, which I did it, I was cast, and I got an agent through that, and I got my first television, and I got my first play, The Complacent Lover, all because I was married to the wrong woman. You know, the ironies. And I said, well, this is a good basis for what I want to write. So I followed along. I didn't want to tell a tell-all story about who did you sleep with and all that stuff, but what changed your life? What helped you find art, and what helped you find love, but real love? And that's why I wrote the book. I said, if you're not honest, there's no point in writing this book. And I was honest in it. I left out maybe 2 things because I didn't want to hurt someone's feelings, but otherwise, it's an honest book. I had a wonderful career, and I still have a wonderful career, although it's a different career, writing. I'm just finishing my 5th book. So, actors, it's what do you remember most? And I'd say, I think if people remember me, it's because of what I turned down, more than what I did. I mean, sure, they'll remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein and Silver Streak and Stir Crazy. But the stuff I turned down, and none of them were successful, and I would have been embarrassed to do the parts, and I'm glad I didn't do them, but I didn't do that many films. And I think that ended up being a benefit. So I had a very happy career. And now I'm happy writing. If something came along that was brilliant, a perfect part for me, and I was right for it, yeah, maybe. But I don't think that's going to happen because they're writing different kinds of films today. And I don't want to write another film. I've semi-retired from acting, but I haven't retired at all from writing. Yeah, I can be at home. I can sleep later. I can have breakfast with my wife and go into my study and write for an hour and a half, 2 hours, come out, get a cup of tea, give my wife a kiss, go back in, write a little bit more. And after 4.5, 5 hours, that's it. I may look at it later that evening and say, oh, that's no good, I'll change it tomorrow. But otherwise, that's it. Then we We cook dinner together. If there's a recipe involved, she cooks it. If it's just roasting a chicken or broiling something, I can do it, but she does all the other things. It's a nice life. And now we've got 2 puppies. They're just puppies. They're cute, and so we've got a full life.